Well, just when he thought the controversy with the battle was over, it ain't over yet, man. We got a lot to get into, so let's go. So you guys, the Judgment Day card just went down a couple nights ago, man, and it started with controversy. The show went on with more controversy, and then it ultimately ended with even more controversy. So as you guys know, headed into this battle, man, Nick called out Bob on his Instagram live or reel, whichever one it was, and things just seemed like it was just going to be like this kind of ordinary battle. It was just him calling them out because he finally won the battle, but things started to get a little bit messy over time. I'm all for a good promo, but all I ask is things don't get too personal, too messy, or I'll have to pull the plug on it if the battle is a go. Things did ultimately seem to get a little bit messy, maybe not too personal, but more people started to jump into it. Unfortunately, I wanted it to stay between the two contestants, but there was an extra person getting involved, and I did talk to one side of the party, and I was like, yo, you probably want to try to keep it at just the one person you're trying to battle, because people are asking, what's going on? What is all this controversy about? So I think that's one thing that hindered the battles, that most people didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, even though it may not be stuff that everybody needs to know. I don't even know what was going on, but the call out happened. The battle got approved. Both sides was willing to do it. They had a little stipulation going, but one side of the party did not end up liking how far these promos started going. So ultimately, Nick decided to go ahead and tone down the promos a little bit, so it's not added controversy. He really wanted this battle to go down. He didn't want anybody to pull out, so he did kind of apologize and things like that. So ultimately, the battle went on. So ultimately, the battle did go on, but things felt very shaky, especially in the first few rounds of this battle. I felt like there was a lot of tenseness, a lot of nervousness going on, but ultimately, it seemed like everybody did start to open up a little bit over time. This battle was very lopsided, very one-sided, however you want to call it. It did not go the way that many of us expected, not the typical way that these battles go. Unfortunately, Nick was down a lot of rounds before he finally got on the board. I believe it was like six straight rounds that he did not get on the board, but then he finally got on the board. Now, a couple of these rounds were very controversial with some people, but you guys do got to remember that most of the time these battles are all about popularity of the person and popularity of the titles that are being pulled. So round number 2, a lot of people questioned because we had Rocky 3 versus Infinity War. Now, when this question got asked and the titles was pulled, both contestants showed their title, and I believe Bob pulled the Endgame Steelbook. But even when he first showed it, the first thing that came out of his mouth was Infinity War. So I chopped it up to the nervousness, and I knew which direction he was going, and I was like, okay, he's going with Infinity War, and he said it. So he's just got confused from, I guess, the anxiety, the nervousness of the battle or whatever was going on kind of behind the scenes. So I went ahead with it because I knew exactly what he was aiming for. So few people in the chat was a little confused on how that one, because he didn't pull the movie that he said. But like I said, we knew where he was going with it. So we slid with that one on round number 2, and he did take it. All right, so the next round that had people up in arms was round number 5. We had Nick pulling Casino and Bob pulling Goodfellas. Now we know that Casino and Goodfellas are two great movies, Scorsese and Robert De Niro, and that was the question. They wanted to see one of the best movies that they collab with, and those were the two movies pulled. So we thought this one was going to be a lot closer, but it wasn't. Bob ultimately pulled away with this one. And, Nick is known for more his gangster movies, his mafia-style movies. So, a lot of us that kind of follow Nick and know his genre specifics that he likes and things like that, we really thought this round was going to be in the bag for him. Unfortunately, it wasn't, because once again, like I said, we already know how these battles go. Popularity of person, popularity of the title. So Bob took this one, even though I ultimately feel like Casino is the more rewatchable movie, the better movie over Goodfellas, but that's just my personal opinion. We all have our own personal preferences of movies that we like, that we feel are better, and ultimately the crowd said that Goodfellas was better on this one. So the next round that was really questionable this was more questionable on Nick's end on why he pulled a certain title, was round number 8. It was best non-slasher horror title. He ended up pulling a title that nobody really knew what it was, and we already know, if you've been watching these battles for the last, year and a half to 2 years, you already know you cannot pull titles that people have not seen. You're probably not going to win unless you do a really good job of selling it, or your competitor's title is just ultimately trash and most people don't like it. You're probably going to lose, and he did not heed the warning and know what to do in this round. He ended up pulling the title called Get My Gun. A lot of people had not seen it, never heard of it. So ultimately, he lost this Bob pulled carry. He ended up losing the round. He had his reasons on why he pulled that, but he could have went with something way better, way more familiar, more mainstream, because that's the name of the game with these battles is recency bias happens a lot in here, and just, whatever's the most popular title is going to win. So he did not do himself any favor in round number 8, which, regardless of that, at this point, he had already lost the battle anyway. But if he really wanted to kind of, as we say, save face or go out a little bit better than what he went out with in this battle, going down 8-1, he should have pulled a much better title than this one. So ultimately, he ended up losing this battle 8-1, so it really wasn't a good look after all the promo that was put out, but it was still a very fun time, man. He came to play. He did what most people don't, and that's really push the promo and, really want to bring something to these battles. So I definitely appreciate him doing that, man. There's a lot of people that come up and they're very quiet, and I get it. Not everybody's, very outgoing and very creative. So I definitely thank him for doing as much as he could to bring attention to this battle. But ultimately, I think he focused a little bit too much on the promo instead of really going back and understanding what the battles are all about and knowing what to pull. So maybe next time it'll be a little more in his favor. But unfortunately, after the whole battle went down, the very next night, some more controversy stirred up. I ended up getting a few DMs over on Instagram showing me the chat from a stream that happened with a different type of battle going on. That there was someone in the chat, I'll put it up on the screen, saying that they had 5 different accounts that they were voting on. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But like I said, some of these rounds were, Nick just didn't do himself any favor. So I don't believe he would have got the I don't believe he pulled great titles to garner enough votes, regardless of somebody, doing that, even if it was more than one person. It just didn't really work out in his favor for the things that he was pulling in most of these rounds. So I don't think it did too much to hinder him from taking the win in this battle. But I do not like things like that happening. I wish this person would have kept that to themselves. I don't know if they was clout chasing. I don't know if they was lying, whether it was for real or not, because that's a lot of work to create 5 different accounts just because you want to vote for your favorite YouTuber or whatever the case was. I don't know who this person is. It seems like that there's somebody that's hiding under a different profile name, and we probably know who they are. They're just hiding because they know they're doing dumb stuff. But unfortunately, it has created a good change, I would say, for the battles going forward. And this is something, I've been battling for a long time. A lot of people have been telling me I need to kind of change it up so it's not as much about popular person, that we keep it more about the titles itself. So I've been trying to figure out ways, and people have been trying to help me with that. So thank you to Nate and Alex for helping me out with this one. As soon as they started explaining to me what it was, I already it hit my head. I was like, I know exactly what you guys are about to say, so it hit me. So going forward, things are changing with the way that we're going to show the titles. So once the question is asked, 2 contestants will go off screen or whatever they want to do to grab their title. They're not going to show it. I'm no longer doing the 1, 2, 3 show your titles anymore. What they're going to do is pull their title, sit it down, then they're going to type in the private chat on StreamYard what title it is that they pulled. Then I will type it into the poll. Poll will be up. Once I close the poll, I will then have them show you what titles was theirs. That way it kind of eliminates the opportunity of people just voting for their favorite YouTuber or the person that they rock with the most and the person that they want to win. That way it's more focused on the movie. So hopefully that works out a little bit better, puts things at ease a little bit more. Hopefully other people don't feel like, oh man, I hope that was probably going on in my battle. I think that was happening. He didn't change it up then. Why is he changing it up now? If there's negative comments like that, then, keep it to yourself. Like I said, this was all about having fun, coming together as a community. We also have the same hobby. We like collecting movies. We want to show them off every now and then. So this was, a great opportunity for us all to come together for a good hour and a half and have a little bit of fun and show off our titles and things like that. But unfortunately, sometimes one rotten apple can spoil a bunch, but we're going to pull it back together. And I got more news. I feel bad about all this happening, so I got to make it up to you guys. One thing I didn't want to do was come back with a battle real quick, but with things like this happening, I got to make it up to you, the viewers. So what we're going to do Redemption, man. Yes, Redemption card is coming. Put it up on the screen for you. You should see it right now. Redemption is coming next Thursday. I plan on doing another battle to make up for this. I want to do 2 battles, so I will be reaching out to at least 4 to maybe 5. Maybe we'll do like a triple threat and then a one-on-one or something like that. I don't know. I want to do something, you know, for you guys to make up for this going down. But I know you guys still enjoy the battles nonetheless. So thank you for rocking out with your boy. Thank you for understanding, and thank you for all your feedback on this one. Nonetheless, man, it's your boy 4K D-Ray. I'm signing off, signing out. Time is something that you can't get back. We gone. Oh.